Hey adventurers, welcome to Canada. We're outside of Montreal and we are looking for salamanders and frogs and all sorts of other things. Now, it is October, the weather is starting to get a little colder. I think even the nights are longer than the days. So some of the reptiles might be gone, but you never know what we might see. So definitely a focus on the amphibians, which do much better in colder weather. Well, this place is pretty cool. I'm already hearing and seeing a ton of birds, some American red squirrels, which are pretty cool. We don't have them back in California, so hopefully we'll have a lot to show you in this video with our day off in Montreal. Here we go. All right, first log right next to the parking lot. There's my rental car, and look at that. We've got a nice little salamander. Anybody else here? Nope. We can put this back. Check it out. This is a blue spotted salamander. All right, bye, fella. Well, getting a blue spotted salamander under the very first log is definitely a good sign. We saw a ton of them last week in northern Illinois, so be sure to check out that video. But that's one of the reasons we didn't spend a ton of time with it, because I had just filmed like 7 or 8 just last week. So, but here's some logs that I'm gonna flip up, and hopefully we'll get like a redback salamander or something new for the year. Aha! I see a tail. I saw a tail. Yep, there we go. There we go. Exactly what I wanted. Let's put this log back. Oh, it's falling apart a lot, but it's definitely very moist. Okay. And check that out. Look at this little guy. All right, here is a close-up of that salamander that we just flipped. This is the eastern redback salamander. Pretty easy to identify. They have this red stripe along their back, and in this area, there's nothing else that looks quite like it. So excellent to see. He really does blend in well with the wood here. All right, thanks, fella. You can go back now. Don't worry, I'll pour some water on that spot too. But you're just digging right in there. All right, disappear. Disappear. There we go. All right. Oop. Here's the other guy. Let's try to fix his log. Okay. Just like that, another red-backed salamander, eastern red-backed salamander. There's another one down there too. Oh, and a toad. All right, hold on. All right, he's peeing. All right, check it out. There goes that toad that we just flipped up. Here are the 2 redback salamanders. Now, already got a nice look, so I'm gonna put them back. This log is very moist. So hop back on under there. Very good, very good. And we'll take a closer look at this toad who's hopping away. Well, this guy is an American toad. Luckily, in some parts of the United States, they can be a little difficult to tell the species compared to the Fowler's toad. But out here, they only have American, and he is a little feisty, doesn't want to stay still, but that is okay. Beautiful looking toad. A little small, but you know, we've seen some bigger, but you know, he's getting his way there. But we're gonna try to put him back to the log where he found him, and we'll get on our way and see what else there is. Is this flippable? It is flippable. All right. At least I thought it was flippable. Whole lot of work for a newt. Yes, a newt. Great, 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 great. All right, just double check. Nobody else is here. All right. Look at that. Check out this newt that we just flipped up. This is an eastern newt, and it is a lot smaller than the newts that we have in California here. Let me see if I can show you. You know, here's my finger coming up pretty close to it. Like, he is almost, including the tail, almost as long as my finger, but not quite. And in California, and you know that they're as big as my hand. So cool to see this guy. One of the neat things is they have these little red spots on them. So that's one of their field marks. And it is excellent. This is a new species for the year. Although we have seen them before. They've been on the channel, I think, a couple times. But this is the first one that I've seen in Canada. So we'll put this guy back, because there are mosquitoes attacking me, and then we'll see what else there is to find out here. So Canada is turning out to be a great spot, especially this little area here. Just in the last, I don't know, 25 yards, we've had all of those eastern redback salamanders, the eastern newt, the American toad, and the blue spotted salamander. That was much earlier at the parking lot, but very, very good. 2 of those species are new for my year list, and now I have a goal to see 150 species, and so that is 141 and 142. There's a call that's happening in the background, and I can't tell if it's a frog or a bird, so I'm gonna go that way and see what there is. Whoa, okay. Whoa, okay, let's see what do we got here. We got a redback salamander and a big guy. What are you? Are you a blue spotted? You are a blue spotted. Nice chunky one too. And there's another redback over here. All right, well, let's put the redbacks back because, nope, because we've already seen so many. I've lost count. We'll skip the redbacks for the rest of the video since we've seen so many. But look at this chunky guy. Check out this guy. Now this looks a lot bigger than some of those other blue spots we saw, and I think it still is. Now there is another species that's in the area, and that's the unisexual salamander. Now the unisexual salamander is an all-female species that requires sperm from other salamanders, other similar species, in order to breed. And because this guy is pretty big, I'm wondering if it's actually unisexual. He's kind of on the border. If we find one that's even bigger, then I may decide that that's what this is. But for now, we're leaning towards blue spotted for this guy. So pretty exciting to see. We'll let him crawl back under because he's been so helpful. Bye, fella. All right, we've got, is that garter snake alive? I feel like I'm seeing its belly, but it looks like it's alive. It's looking at me for sure. What happened to you? Well, we have this eastern garter snake here. I'm trying to, it might be stuck or something. Let me see if I can get it loose, because this looks pretty unnatural. It's definitely still alive, but I think he's just being a little weird. Let's see if we can pull him out. Yeah, he's definitely stuck. What happened to you? All right. Well, he's out now. Okay, he's being pretty weird. I'm a little worried about this snake, but at least he's not stuck. We'll move him over there, and we'll see what he decides to do. So, definitely a little weird to see a snake that was showing us its belly a lot, but it's definitely out now. It may have been stuck or something. We've finally come up on the pond, and I see a little bit of movement. So there's a good chance that there's some frogs around. Let's see if we can spot any before they spot us. All right, well, this little spot is nice. We've got a nice big pond, and we've got our first green frog right there. And you guys all know how to identify that from those dorsolateral folds right on the side there. That's a good way to differentiate them from bullfrogs. I don't think there's any bullfrogs here, but you see them other places. And then, of course, right there is another one, and then a little bit further back, a third. So the green frogs are definitely liking. All right, well, there's a lot of mosquitoes. Another green frog there. Now we are looking in particular for a special frog that isn't super common in a lot of the places that I've been so far this year. Another green frog right there, one that just jumped, but so many mosquitoes. We are hoping to find a wood frog, and they have a very unique feature to how they deal with cold winters, and if we find one, I will tell you all about it. I did think I heard one from the other end. They sound a lot different than the green frogs. All right, well, we found the frog I was looking for. This is the wood frog. You can see right there above my finger. Unfortunately, this whole muddy area here is pretty thick, and I'm not going to be able to walk through it. But if we zoom in just a little bit, we might be able to see the dark mask on the side of its face there. That is our big field mark, our main field mark. And you can see throughout, there's a green frog there too. There's actually a ton of green frogs. There's one right there too. And I've seen a bunch of other green frogs scamper away. We're going to try to find another one of these wood frogs to get an even better look. But just in case this guy there, that little tiny frog, is the only one that we see, I want to tell you about their unique ability in wintering. So, you know, a lot of these frogs, they'll bury underground, they'll go into their brumation process, but the wood frogs will actually produce an antifreeze in their blood, and so that their cells don't freeze over, and so they're able to live north of the Arctic Circle. They are the most northern frog. And like, so you could put one in your freezer and then pull it out, you know, 6 months later. I don't know exactly how long, but like a good amount of time later, and it'll thaw and go jumping around again. I do not recommend that you try to do that. That's not very nice to the frog, but it is a really cool adaptation that these wood frogs have. So we're going to try to find a better example, because they have these lovely black masks. They have sort of light, like white lips, and they can be anywhere from sort of brown like this to sort of more pinkish. So hopefully there's an adult that we can see, and we got to stop looking at those green frogs. So here's to looking for another wood frog. Right in there, we have another garter snake. You can see it, just a little one. Nice to see that this one seems to be doing just fine. I saw it run from the side of the trail, so neat. Right, check it out. We've got a nice big garter snake there. Oh, well, yeah, you can see him a bit. All right, well, I said we were done with the redback salamanders, but I found something a little unique. So this is another one, but you can see he doesn't really have any red on him. Well, that is because sometimes they have this extra phase where they're all sort of blackish or sort of a lead color to him. So we will show you that one other guy. Did he find a little hole to crawl into? He did. Wow. So that's neat. One other, you know, I don't know if I can get him out very easily, but I don't know, he's in there. I might move him so that he's actually covered up and under this moist log here, but that is another way that these guys look. Okay, I said I was going to stop showing you these redback salamanders. This one actually had a ton. There's one down there, there's two here, one went that way, but I wanted to show you this guy and this guy, or that guy. You can see we've got both the leadback phase, he's going under there, and the redbacked phase. Just so you can see the difference a little bit. We're gonna take these guys out because this log's kind of big. Yeah, you can see right next to each other. I don't want the log to squish them, so I'm gonna try to get all these guys out, put the log back, and then move on. But it's cool to see that the two phases are intermingling like this. You might be able to hear back here is a spring peeper calling. That's that call that I heard earlier. Now, I haven't been able to locate it, and I put in a bit of time, so I might not be able to. But it's another species for the list. I haven't seen one this year, but I'm able to record this guy and get the audio call, so I'm counting it on my list. But it is nowhere near the spring. It's the fall now. And for some reason, these guys are still calling. I've heard a couple, but they're very small, and so they're tough to find. But you know, there's still some time left in the day. Maybe we'll get one, maybe we won't. But at least we got to hear the call, at least for a little bit. So stay tuned. Well, it has been a very productive day in Montreal. I mean, there were redback salamanders everywhere. I probably saw upwards of like 50 or 60, but just too many to include them all. Starting to get a little boring. Can you believe that? But great, we had some snakes, we had some other salamanders, toads, newts. Like really, we probably saw almost every species that's possible out in this area that I happen to be. So if you like this kind of content, please remember to like and subscribe. I'm Greg Schechter. This is Schechter Natural History, and I'll see you in the field.